quarter after 2 in the afternoon, Woodward and Buckingham, changing lanes without due care and caution. The options you have today are 3. You can admit responsibility or deny responsibility, or you can admit responsibility with an explanation. How do you wish to proceed?
Deny responsibility. Would I be able to speak to the officer in a breakout room?
No.
Okay. I would like to deny. I'm sorry?
This is the date and time set for the hearing.
Okay. I would like to deny responsibility.
Please raise your right hands, please. Swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth.
I do.
Yes.
The officer will testify first.
Okay.
Yeah, Your Honor, on April 6th of 2025 at about 2:17 in the afternoon, I was dispatched to a property damage accident or a traffic crash involving this Buick Encore driven by Miss Picciali, is it?
Yeah.
During which it was found that she made a lane change over to the right in a lane that was occupied by another vehicle, essentially sideswiping that vehicle. And at that time, both drivers had admitted to me the same thing of what had occurred.
Ms. Pizziali?
So there are a lot of things that happened during that situation that are confusing to me. I did turn onto Woodward going towards Buckingham, but I would say that I'm a very cautious driver. And when I made the turn, I did recognize that there was enough space between me and the cars, like coming, I'm not sure what direction, but coming toward where I was headed, for me to feel comfortable to turn onto Buckingham. As far as I know, I didn't register that car was separate from the pack or closer to me in any way, and he was behind me the entire time. When I was getting over into the lane, my turn signal was on the entire time, and my car has safety features that recognize that if someone's in front of me or behind me or even in my blind spot, to signal to me to stop or to not make that motion, and none of those signals went off at the time of when our cars hit each other. And so I'm just a little bit, I was, unaware that he was in where he was, and when we hit, my car was going this way and his was coming this way, and I genuinely don't know, he was behind me the entire time until he wasn't, and then I'm not sure if he was trying to get around me. He saw my turn signal on and didn't, I don't know how he got there, to be completely honest with you, because
were you in one lane and were changing into another lane?
So I was turning from, I don't know the directions, but I was in a turnaround right before Buckingham Avenue, and so I was crossing over to get onto Buckingham. Does that make, I'm not sure if that makes sense.
So you,
I wasn't driving in the same direction as the man. I was in a
so you're doing the Michigan left, so you went from one way on Woodward to the other way.
Correct. But Buckingham was almost right across from that turn, so I was just kind of moving through the lanes with caution, and I'm not sure if he was trying to get in front of me or trying to pass me as I was trying to get onto Buckingham. But I was aware of my surroundings. I had my turn signal on, and none of the signals in my car told me to stop, and neither did anything that I had registered previously to make that turn.
So what about looking where you were going?
I was looking where I was going. I was. And
did you see the car?
That is what is confusing. I'm not sure. I don't know. He wasn't. I didn't.
Well, Scotty didn't beam him down.
I'm sorry?
Scotty didn't beam him down.
I'm not sure.
Please. guess I'm dating myself with
I'm
Star Trek.
sorry.
But the bottom line here is that there was a vehicle in the lane that you were going into that you didn't think was there.
Right, and I didn't see, like, he was in the, like, he was far behind me from what I registered for me.
And yet the two sides of the cars were in contact with each other.
So the front of my car, and the back of his car, so as I was like turning, I don't know, I guess, as I was turning, like my car and the back of his car kind of hit like this. And that was what, so obviously like it looks like my car hit his car, but he wasn't, like I had no, and I know it's hard for me to explain because it, like the way that our cars hit makes it look like I like totally hit him and I wasn't paying attention, but I know that not to be the case. And I had a passenger in the car.
Why do you think that's not the case?
Because I am a cautious driver, and I especially driving on Woodward, a 4-lane highway, does make me a little bit nervous. And I know that I would not, and I didn't feel comfortable turning until I knew that all of the cars, like until I felt safe enough to turn onto Buckingham without, getting in the way of other cars or other cars, cutting a little bit too close to me. I was waiting in the turnaround until I felt safe enough, and I did feel safe enough, and somehow he came and our cars collided. I don't know if he had maybe turned onto Woodward at like around the same time that I was turning onto Buckingham. I'm not sure. But
would it matter?
He was not in my blind spot. He was not in front of me. He was far behind me for me to feel safe and comfortable enough. And the passenger in my car can agree to that as well. Like, and none of the signals in my car went off.
And when you're driving, you have a duty not to turn onto a road. You were coming out of the Michigan left.
Correct.
You have a duty to stay there at the stop sign until it's clear.
I agree. And that is exactly what I did.
No, it isn't what you did. If it would have been clear, there wouldn't have been a crash.
That is why I'm confused, and that's why we're here today.
What's confusing you is you seem to have eliminated the possibility that you goofed. You didn't see somebody that was there.
Well, I would agree with you on that, except for I had a passenger in the car, and they were also they also are aware and a very nervous driver, and they felt that they didn't see this car either. And so that is is even more confusing.
The car is visible.
Too. Right.
This is what, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
The car doesn't have any cloaking devices. It's sitting there. It's 20 feet long. It's 6 feet wide. It's 5 feet high. It's visible.
Yeah. Well,
there would not have been a crash if you didn't go into that person's lane.
I'm saying that I don't think that this was my fault. I do know for a fact.
Are you blaming the other guy because he's driving down the road and happens to be in a lane that you want to turn into?
I do know for a fact that he was.
Do you blame him because he was where you wanted to be?
I think that this is a situation where maybe
Answer my question.
Could have done better.
Are you blaming the other guy because he was physically present where you wanted to be?
I don't blame him because he was in that lane. I do think that I do know that he was behind me the entire time.
Ma'am, if he was behind you the entire time,